What's going on, guys? I'm making to another video, and today's another ranking video. I'm trying to do these on Mondays when movies are coming out, movie reviews on Fridays, rankings on Mondays. I think that's the content you guys like. I'm trying to still feel out what you guys want to see on the channel, but first, you know what I'm going to say. It's because we're so close. Please, if you have not already, consider subscribing to the channel. We are less than 15 subscribers away from the big 1,000 subscribers. 15 people away from 1,000, which is absolutely incredible. If you like what you see, if you enjoy the content, please consider hitting that big red button. It really does mean the absolute world. And today we are doing something a little bit different. Last week I did my top 10 film franchises of all time. Really enjoyed making that video. I hope you guys liked it. And today we're doing another highly anticipated one that people have been asking for that I'm finally doing today. We are doing my top 10 favorite directors of all time. And this one was kind of hard because there's a lot of really talented, really excellent directors out there, but I had to piece together my top 10, and I'm very, very happy with the list that I have today. Go down below in the comments. Let me know, what is your favorite director of all time? There's a lot, so I think we'll get a lot of variety. I'm very excited to hear, and I think without further ado, let's stop dilly-dallying and let's get into the list. I'm going to give one honorable mention to Quentin Tarantino. I love so many of his films. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Django Unchained, Inglourious Basterds, my top 3 probably favorite films of his. He is what he is, and he is absolutely a fantastic director behind the lens. I really like his style, and he just doesn't hold back, and I respect that. And I got to give him an honorable mention. Coming in at number 10 is Greta Gerwig. Now, this one is tough because she's only directed 2 films so far, or 3. Maybe 3, but 2 well-known ones, Lady Bird and Little Women. And I loved both of those films. I think Lady Bird is absolutely incredible with a fantastic performance from Saoirse Ronan, and the direction from Gerwig is so well done. It really, that film is real, and I really respect it, and I really liked it. And then Little Women, I think fantastic adaptation of the book, some really great performances, and fantastic direction overall from Greta Gerwig. I really like it. She's a writer, actor, all of the above, married to Noah Baumbach, I believe, or not married. They have some sort of relationship. I think they're married, but I'm not positive. Absolutely power couple in Hollywood if they are. Absolutely love her. She's fantastic, and she comes in at number 10 on my list. Coming in at number 9 is Richard Linklater. I have not seen all of his films, admittedly, but some of his films, Boyhood and the Before trilogy, are some of my favorite movies. The Before trilogy is my favorite trilogy of all time, and that's saying something because we got some pretty damn good trilogies out there, but the Before trilogy is by far my favorite trilogy of all time. What Linklater is able to do, not just writing, but also the direction, is absolutely outstanding. And then you get the great performances as well. If I had to pick a favorite movie from Richard Linklater, it's going to have to be Before Sunset. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I believe it's in my top 20 of all time. It is just chef's kiss, absolute masterful. Favorite movie from Greta Gerwig, I would have to say, is probably Lady Bird. Again, I'm only choosing from 2 that I've seen from her. But I'm really looking forward to the Barbie movie. It is Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Simu Liu just got cast, and someone else just got cast as well in that movie. She's writing and directing it. I'm very excited for that. But yeah, Richard Linklater, Before Sunset, my favorite of his, and he comes in at number 9 on my list. Coming in at number 8 is Steven Spielberg, absolute just icon of filmmaking, Jaws, Indiana Jones, Saving Private Ryan, you name it. Just incredible pieces of filmmaking from decades ago to today. Like Ready Player One, which came out in 2018, is one of my guilty pleasure favorite movies of all time that I absolutely love, and he directed it and did it completely in VR virtual reality, which is just absolutely incredible. My favorite film of Steven Spielberg's probably has to be Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's either that or The Last Crusade. I love both those movies so much, but Raiders of the Lost Ark, absolutely incredible movie. He is an iconic director and comes in at number 8 on my list. Coming in at number 7 is Edgar Wright, the Cornetto trilogy, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, At World's End, Baby Driver. He just released Last Night in Soho. He also did the documentary The Sparks Brothers, which I watched last year. He has such a distinct style of direction and shot composition and shot movement and just the way that his films flow that I absolutely love. It's fast-paced, it's quirky at times. The use of music is incredible. He is known for his use of music, and I really, really love it. My favorite film of Edgar Wright's has to be Baby Driver. That is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I really, really love what Edgar Wright's doing. I mean, Last Night in Soho and The Sparks Brothers, 2 films I really enjoyed last year. He's great, absolutely awesome, and he comes in at number 7 on my list. Coming at number 6 is Guy Ritchie. He, much like Edgar Wright, has very distinct style that is fast-paced. It throws you all around the map. His writing also is like that's very fast-paced, kind of bombastic and all over the place in a good way, not in a bad way. The likes of Snatch, Lock, Stock, 2 Smoking Barrels, recently The Gentleman and Wrath of Man. I mean, he is really great at what he does behind the camera. If I had to pick a favorite of his, probably The Gentleman, and that is a newer film, and I have seen a majority of his filmography, not his entire filmography, but a majority of his filmography, and I'd have to say I really do enjoy The Gentleman the most. I think the cast is dynamite. I really, really love the writing and the way the story is told, and the direction is awesome. Edgar Wright is fantastic. Really, really enjoy him, and he comes in number 6 on my list. Coming in number 5 is Cheating. It's 2 people, but it is the Russo Brothers. They direct films together. Started out in TV with Community, one of my favorite shows of all time. Really made their name in the MCU with my 4 favorite MCU movies, and are now continuing on with their own production company. They have a movie coming out this year starring Ryan Gosling that is like this action espionage movie that I'm really looking forward to. They just know how to this is where they're really good at the fundamentals and composing a story, and I think that they do that really well, and they work really well with the writing that they are given, especially in the MCU, to be able to juggle a lot of actors, big broad storylines, really big ideas. I think that, do that extremely, extremely well. My favorite from the Russo Brothers has to be Avengers Endgame, my number 2 favorite film of all time. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible what they were able to accomplish. I really, really loved it. They are fantastic, and the duo, come in at number 5 on my list. Coming at number 4 is Denis Villeneuve. I love Denis Villeneuve. He is absolutely incredible. Everything he does. Prisoners, Arrival, just recently did Dune, Sicario, just to name a few. He is fantastic. His movies are some of the most beautifully shot movies. That is not always credited to him. That is also the cinematographer, but I think he has a lot to do with that. But he has big ideas that he brings into the screen, and he is able to juggle intimate moments with big action sequences and ideas. And I really, really love that about him. I think he is incredibly skilled behind the camera. If I had to pick a favorite from him, this may be recency bias, but I really loved Dune. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait to see what he does with Dune Part 2, but I do really love Arrival as well. I think that one's in my top 15 favorite of all time. He is fantastic, really skilled and incredible director. He comes in at number 4 on my list. Coming in at number 3 is Wes Anderson. This is probably the most unique one on my list because he is one of the most unique directors in Hollywood. He has a very specific style with cinematography, set design, his color vocabulary and color palette are all very refined. He is quirky. He is weird, but in all of the best ways. He knows what he wants on camera. He executes it to the utmost of his ability, and he's absolutely incredible. And his filmography, pretty much from top to bottom, I've seen all of his films except for two. From top to bottom, his filmography is relatively solid. If I had to pick a favorite, it's got to be Grand Budapest Hotel. By far, I think his best work so far. The French Dispatch, which came out last year, is like a comfort movie for me. I really love it. And The Fantastic Mr. Fox is another damn good movie that I really enjoyed from him. Great, really skilled director. It comes at number 3 on my list. Now everyone knows who my top 2 are. But where do they land on the list? That's what we're about to find out. Coming in at number 2 is Christopher Nolan, which is a surprise because I've always said that he is my favorite. He has been dethroned. He is now at number 2. But that does not take away from the fact that he is one of my favorite directors. Absolutely fantastic. His films, his filmography is what really got me into film, got me to love the art of film. Inception, Interstellar, The Prestige, all the way back to Memento, Following even. I mean, his filmography, I've seen his entire filmography, is stacked. Tenet, which came out in 2020, is incredible. And now he's doing a film, Oppenheim, with this stacked cast that comes out, I believe, next year. He has range. He is bold. He always pushes the limits of what you can do with a camera and filmmaking. Every movie he does is a spectacle. It is absolutely incredible. Also, the Dark Knight trilogy, I forgot to mention, absolutely fantastic. My favorite of his is Inception. It is my number 3 favorite movie of all time. I love everything about it. The concepts, to the writing, to the direction, performances, absolutely fantastic. Nolan is a master at what he does. And he's absolutely incredible. And he comes in number 2 on my list. Well, you already know. Coming in number 1 is Damien Chazelle. What put him over the top of Nolan? I think it is the fact that 2 of his films are in my top 4 favorite films of all time. La La Land is my number 1 favorite film of all time. Whiplash is my number 4 favorite film of all time. But really it is... But really with him, it is just the ability to tell a story. He is the master storyteller. He is also a master at cinematography, sequencing, and just overall the fundamentals of directing. His stories are incredible. The writing is just terrific. Big, grand set pieces, small, intimate moments. He knows how to work a camera. He knows how to get performances out of actors, and he creates these very rich visuals and landscapes while also making it not about that, but making it about the character and about the story. He is incredible. Whiplash, a masterpiece. La La Land, my favorite film of all time, and what I consider the greatest love story of all time. First Man, an incredible biopic with some of the most stunning visuals I've ever seen. And then he's coming out with Babylon later this year, which I am incredibly excited about and is my number 2 most anticipated movie of the year. He is a master at work. I love everything that he's put out so far. I will follow him to the ends of the earth with anything that he puts out, and he is my favorite director of all time. That is it, guys. Again, go down below in the comments. Let me know, who is your favorite director of all time? I really want to hear. I think we're going to have a lot of range. I mean, of course, there's others we didn't mention. Scorsese, Baumbach, Francis Ford Coppola, Chloe Zhao. I mean, just to name a few. I mean, there are so many incredible directors throughout film, and people starting every day creating films. And there's just so many to talk about. So many I want to talk about with you in the comments. So go down there and let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I want you all to have a great rest of your day. Please subscribe if you have not already. It really does mean the absolute world. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next video.